Hello everybody and welcome back to Elventure. My name's Alex, and today we are going to finish the last episode of Stories Untold, episode 4, the last session. If you haven't checked out my earlier episode, episode 3, the station process, be sure to go ahead and do that, because it's really cool. It had a lot of cool story to it, and it actually confirmed that all 3 of the original, or episode 1, 2, and 3, are all connected, which is really awesome. Because before, when I just played episode 1 and 2, I didn't really see any connections, but episode 3 confirmed that they are all happening, I think to the same person, but specifically that they were all happening kind of in the same universe because they refer to you as James, and I think that's the name of your character from the first episode, and then they call you Mr. whatever your last name is, I totally forgot, in the second episode. So I think these 3 stories are the same person, and I think that this last episode that we're going to play today is probably going to confirm that and probably bring to light some mysteries on that. But anyway, as you can see, I only have 1 light on in the room. Guys, if you want the best kind of horror environmental experience, make sure to turn the lights off and maybe put on a nice pair of headphones. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is the last session. And I apologize if you didn't watch my other video. I did try to record episodes 1 and 2, but I totally messed them up in the recording process. So make sure to go check those out on Jacksepticeye's channel if you haven't already, because he has all 4 of them up. And probably a few other people do as well, at least, because it seems to be a pretty cool and popular game. Very Stranger Things-esque.
I think that's enough of that for now.
Well, that's different.
You're quite fond of this show, aren't you?
Is he talking to me?
Okay, come on. Let's get you down to the observation room.
Oh, am I in a wheelchair?
This place must be starting to feel like home to you. Don't worry. Try and get you out of here eventually. Just in here. Okay, are we through in the next room? Just relax and we'll get started in a moment.
So my character is in the hospital for something. I don't know if we have bad health, or if we were in a coma, or if this is like a psych ward. I don't really know. But the last episode, they mentioned like us needing to wake up.
Mr. Asian, now are you ready?
Mr. Asian.
Just hit record on the tape deck in front of you when you're ready. This is subject 12-19-86-23. New session entry.
I think that was the passcode to get into the computer in the last one. That's cool.
And in a room we have our patient, Mr. James Asian.
James Asian. Yep, that's
As we
who
know,
he
James has recently recovered from a 2-week coma following his accident.
Okay, so we were in a coma.
Last 3 sessions. James's attempts to recollect events of the accident seen him merging his memory with his imagination. These episodes have always ended in panic, and we've had to terminate the session abruptly. Let's try and do this one better, James. So when you're ready, let's bring this back.
These have been memories that we're trying to recollect about our accident.
We can do this. James, it's time to remember.
So what kind of accident were we in? I guess that's what we're trying to figure out in this episode, huh?
Your mind. It's like a conscious black box.
Oh, there's the thing from episode 2.
Look into it.
This was like a robot alien presence kind of thing that showed memories in the second one. Yeah, with those weird alien symbols. Oh man.
In your most recent episode, you recalled a false memory of a remote weather station.
Yeah, we did.
You were isolated from the rest of the world, locked inside your coma. We interacted with you daily, encouraging you to wake. Your family would do number puzzles with you. Anything, really, to bring you back.
Oh, so that's what those were.
People needed answers, James. Do you remember?
I have another signal here for you, James. It's at 5610 FM. You can't miss it.
5610 FM. So maybe this is going to bring us back into all the last 3 episodes? Interesting. Yeah, we're trying to figure out who James Asian is, because we don't really know him and what kind of accident he was in. Must have been something very traumatic. 56110 or 5610.
James. Gotta see this. This is 20F 12 19 86 23 04. Type in the numbers, James. Gotta see this.
Report.
This is 20F.
Okay, so report, and we gotta go back over here to our handy dandy projector from the 1960s over here. Which page am I on? This is a different book than it was in the episode 3. Is that it? That's strange. Huh. And that's as far as we can go. What am I looking for again? Report? So maybe this is the... Oh, the report of the traffic accident. Okay, so we know it was a traffic accident. That's kind of good to know, I guess. There's whiskey down there. Is there a third circle? Because I see 2 on this page. Oh, there you go. Whiskey control. Fatal accident? But that's one circles all of that. Let's read this really quick. Arrived on scene to discover 2 cars that had been involved in a rear head-on collision. Mr. Asian found lying down outside his vehicle with head injuries. An ambulance was immediately called. His passenger was trapped in the vehicle in critical condition from wounds sustained in the collision. So that's why he blames himself, and I think it was a family member or something, but in the first episode, the person was very traumatized and self-traumatized, and they blamed themselves for hurting or killing their family or something, so... that must have been it. The driver of the blue sedan, Mr. Hennings, was found dead on arrival. It was noted that there was a strong smell of whiskey from the driver and an empty whiskey bottle on the passenger seat. Mr. Asian was questioned on scene. He described an oncoming blue sedan being clearly out of control. Wait, so he wasn't the drunk driver. The other guy was, this Mr. Hennings, which he swerved to avoid. Mr. Asian's passenger was his sister. Yeah, so he blames himself for killing his sister? The driver of the blue sedan is an ex-police officer of 20 years. Interesting. Let's see if those are all right. Whiskey? Empty whiskey. I didn't notice that before. There we go. Analyzing file.
Find the signal, James. Listen to the voices.
And that was the woman's
You have
voice
to face it,
of
James.
Station 2.
Finally.
So I wonder if that's his sister, if he's like hearing the voice of his sister. 7,000 FM. Man, this guy has been through some shit, huh? Oh, not quite there yet. I'm really bad at scrolling this dial.
It's not like him, at all.
I can't go any
I've
higher.
worked with Officer Hennings for 6 years, and not once have we even talked about alcohol. Drunk driving. He was a father, a husband. He was fine. No way he caused this. It's him. This
The door
Asian
slammed
guy.
shut, plunging you into
He's
darkness.
got something to hide.
Oh, can I move now? Oh, man. Step out into the hospital ward. Only it seems abandoned. Your vision is blurry. Yeah, it is. That's still recording. And also, it's cool that all of these, like the camera and the electronic equipment from episode 2 and stuff like that, if you guys notice and go back and watch the normal intro from episode 3, or episodes 1 and 2 as well, all of those little pieces of technology in there is stuff that you use in the episodes. Ugh. Someone else is here. Trying to, like... No, that's locked. Also, if this is the first episode you guys are watching, I'm a pretty big wuss about scary games, so I apologize if you hear me scream like a girl or anything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with screaming like a girl. Girls have every right to scream, just as guys do. Man, this blurry vision is trippy. It's even worse than my vision in real life. Spent most waking moments in here. I was gonna say, isn't he in a wheelchair? Oh, that's the, that looks like the TV from the first episode. Interesting. I don't know if I can open any of these. Yes, I can. Oh god, it's so dark in here. You only caught a glimpse of the room. I guess that's why there's no detail in here. Oh, okay, so since this is like a memory, you only remember the places that you spent the most time in, I guess. That one's locked, so you probably never went in there. I can't get in here, where can I go? So my shoes are very clickety-clackety. All the files. What is this, a key? You grab the keys from the table. They weigh heavy in your hand. Okay, so we gotta figure out which door that goes to, I guess. Maybe the far end of the hall. Oh, and I can like hear my character's heartbeat slightly in the background as well. There we go. The waiting area is dark, but you feel a presence right behind you. Ugh! Don't let there be anything. I hate that crap. I hate that look behind you crap. Someone breathes on your neck, standing over you. You feel dread in the pit of your stomach. Stop telling me how scared I am, game. I know how scared I am. What happened?
Okay, we have a 22-year-old male just brought in from a vehicle collision. He was awake
right after the
and
accident.
mobile at the scene, but collapsed on arrival to the emergency ward. The other passengers died in the accident.
So this is all the medical equipment that he saw.
I'm getting no pulse. Prepare for
Okay.
defib. Amp charge full to 10 and give me 100 joules.
This is all the medical equipment that brought him back to life.
Come on, 100 joules. Charging
Oh.
up full to 10.
Which one? Yeah, the amp is charged full to 10. 100 joules. Oh, there we go. We have to click the ready button.
Clear.
Oh man.
No reaction from first stage.
Let's try higher. How many
200
joules?
joules. Keep the amp charged at 10.
200 joules.
200 joules. Keep the charge at 10.
Come
Let's
back
go.
to us, damn it, James. Don't die on me, man. Clear.
Clear. Okay, we have a reaction of some sort here, a weak signal.
Amp it up.
Let's keep going. Increase again. 360, charge full.
Come on. There we go.
Come on, 360, hurry. Clear.
Breathe, damn you.
Look at that. Seems we have a pulse.
There you go.
Rhythm is stable.
We need to run an X-ray right away.
X-ray. I don't remember the
Where are we with
X-ray
that
machine.
X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
1 second, doctor. Should have gone back to med school.
Where are we with that X-ray? Let's get it going now, please.
Oh, I just had to turn something off? Why?
Looks like an intracerebral hemorrhage. We need to drain this now to relieve pressure. Prepare for trepanation. Switch on a drill, please.
The drill. I can do that because this actually looks like a drill. It's not just a random box that I wasn't trained to use.
The drill, please.
Oh wait, maybe I spoke too soon. Need everything else off during the drill except for the... There we go.
Mr. Asian,
Oh god.
you've made excellent progress. You're doing great. We need you to stay calm and try to relax while we go through these next steps.
So wait, was that a
We're
mirror
going
that
to
we were
attempt
looking at or
to
something?
Alleviate some of this discomfort.
Why would you drill into someone's head? Good lord. Okay, we're back in the first episode, The House Abandoned. Not only is tonight New Year's Eve, but tomorrow you leave on a 6-month trip abroad with friends. Mom, Dad, and your sister Jennifer have decided to throw a party to celebrate it all. The house is full. You're in the living room, and as usual, you don't recognize a soul. Mingle. Yeah, I didn't think you'd understand that. Look around. The room was full of chatty strangers, mostly friends of Mom and Dad. There is a door to the hall. Go to the door. Go through the door. Oh, for God's sakes. This is what was kind of frustrating to me about the first episode, was that it was like a typing adventure, kind of like this is right now. And so many of the commands that you think would work, it would just say, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Like, even like walk forward, look around, stuff like that. A lot of times it would still say, I don't understand. It doesn't do a very good job of like showing you what commands it wants to see. Go to the hall. You push through the crowd into the hallway. The hallway is as welcoming as ever, only this time the folks have put a great big banner up across the main wall. Half-finished drinks are abandoned on almost every horizontal surface. Stairs lead up, although the party is firmly downstairs. Go upstairs. As much as you'd love to, you promised you'd stay downstairs with the party. Well, fine. Same as ever. Stairs, door to the living room, and door to the kitchen. They say all the best parties are in the kitchen. The kitchen is full of people and loud. There are drinks and food on the table, and the party is in full swing. Dad has cooked a hog roast, which sits proudly on the table, although no one is eating it. Look around. Basically, it's like look around, and then that tells you what rooms, and then you gotta pick the right one, is what I got from the first episode. There's a utility room and writing on the wall. Also, Jen is here, signaling you. Read the writing. Happy New Year, 1986. On another banner, a weird place to hang it. Talk to Jen. She's too far away, and the room is too loud. Go to Jen. You push through, apologizing over and over, get to Jennifer. You hug. You're going to miss each other. You thank her for the party. She asks if you're enjoying the party. Tell her yes. You tell her it's great, even though you don't really know anyone. She tells you to enjoy it anyway, and to loosen up. She asks you to get her a drink. Get her a drink. Like, so many of these are really obvious. I'm all, like, texting adventures are cool, but it's like, just go do the thing that's obvious that you're gonna go do. There's never an awkward silence with Jennifer. She always has a question. She asks if you have everything sorted for the big trip. if I can spell. Tell her yes. You tell her yes, that you have packed everything with plenty of room to spare. Another hug. Your family have really gone out of their way to make this trip happen for you. It might be what you need to get some perspective and maybe not fuck up so much. She's gonna miss you. You're going to miss her. She walks away. Press enter to continue. Jen has disappeared into the crowd. You're left standing, nodding, and smiling at the approving faces. There's so much to do for this move. Can't mess it up. But first, a drink. Get a drink. You pour and down another drink. Anything to move the night along. Look around again, I guess? The room is full. There's a utility room and writing on the wall. Oh, okay. Go to the utility room. That's where I like to hang out at all my favorite parties, is the utility room. You open the door and peer in. You're never allowed in here normally. This is where Dad keeps his fine wines and whiskeys. Ceiling to floor racks. A collector, although he does actually drink them too. There's a bottle with a ribbon around it and a card. Read the card. You pick up the whiskey and the card. It's your dad's handwriting. Son, we're so proud of you and everything you've achieved. You've earned this. It's a bottle of 25-year-old double malt. You shouldn't really, but you have to try it. With your whiskey in hand, you take in the room around about you. There must be hundreds, no thousands of pounds worth of drinks in here. You really must thank your dad for the whiskey. Go to your dad. Find your dad. Look around, maybe we can find Dad that way. There are racks of fine wines and the door to the kitchen. Go to the kitchen. You head back into the kitchen, clutching your new best friend. You stumble out of the utility room and back into the kitchen. That is one strong whiskey. You take another swig and give the thumbs up to Dad across the room. He nods and winks. Talk to Dad. He tells you he's proud of you, and to go easy tonight. Early flight tomorrow. Look around. Busy and noisy. We need to find somewhere quieter. Go to the hallway? Maybe we can go upstairs now. You go back out to the hallway. A few bumps and laughs on the way through, and you make it to the hall. You stop dead in your tracks. It's Jen, covered in blood. Go to Jen. She's staring straight at you. No one else notices. Look around. Blood is dripping down her face. It's mixing with tears. Talk to Jen. Whoa, look at the TV. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Oh God. Do something. Can we do anything, or is this just like meant to happen? It's gonna cover the entire screen. Help Jen. Help her, don't let her die. Oh God. Oh no, it's her.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
We tried our best, Mrs. Asian, but her injuries were too severe.
Oh, so she died in the car
I don't
accident.
understand. I was just talking to her.
I'm afraid Jennifer passed away before we could get to her in surgery. We did the best we could. I'm so sorry.
Where is she? Let me see her.
Please, Mrs. Asian, take a seat.
I don't want to take a seat. Let me talk to her. Now.
I'll arrange for you to see her. In the meantime, James is in recovery. He's stable for now.
His
I
mind
don't
sure
see
isn't
him.
stable. Oh God, she doesn't want to see me? So they hate you after what happened? Or is that just what you imagined because of your guilt? You're standing in the hallway. Something had stopped you in your tracks. While searching your mind, your sister interrupts. She waves her hand in front of you and asks if you can drive her home. Oh, this is when it happens. You still feel out of sorts, those words echo. So it is you that was drunk behind the wheel. You had that whiskey. Oh, God. Don't drive her home. Drive her... I mean, I think I'm saying this because I think I have to, but... Go to the car. Poor life choices. Poor Life Choices Simulator 2018. Go to the door. You need to tell me which room you want to go to. Go to the living room. You're sure your keys are in the living room? The living room has a much more relaxed atmosphere compared to the kitchen. Various guests are sat on the chairs having civilized conversations. There's a coffee table in the middle of the room. Your mum is pouring a drink at the drinks cabinet. Talk to your... Can I write mum? Yes, I can. Tears immediately start to appear in her eyes. My son, off to America. She gives you a hug. Look on the coffee table. Drinks on coasters. Like proper civilized people, you can't see your keys. Look at the cabinet. Your mom's collection of wines and spirits, definitely no keys here. Look at the coats. Look at the jacket. Weren't all the coats and jackets in this room? Ah! Look at the chair. Friends in conversation, jackets and coats everywhere. Look at the coats. You search through all the jackets and coats until you find yours. Aha! Car keys in the pocket. Guys, we found the car keys. We can end the game now. We did it. You grab both. Go outside. Keys in hand, you head back into the hall. Jen thanks you for helping her out. She has work in the morning, and no one else is in any fit state to drive. Neither are you. Shame on you, character. You can handle it, though. You know the road like the back of your hand. Yeah, that's been proven to be a whole lot of baloney when you're drunk. Don't you? No. I'm just gonna put no. I'm just gonna end the game here. I'm not gonna let him drunk drive. Jen's gonna be safe. We're gonna all go home happy. We're gonna have bad hangovers in the morning. Wrong. The front door. You open the front door and walk out into the freezing night. The cold air hits you. Oh, and there's like the sound drop, like you don't hear the voices anymore. That's cool. You're glad you have your jacket with you. There is a dusting of snow around you as you step down from the porch. The yard extends around the back of the house, and the car sits at the front of the house. Go to the car, you freaking moron. What a drunk drive. I am so disappointed in you. You fumble with the car handle, confused, until Jen tells you to maybe use the key in your hand. Yeah, the key would help. Shouldn't Jen know by now that if we're struggling so much just to get into the car? The car is freezing. As you fumble around with your seatbelt, your sister opens up the car glove box and hands you a note and a key that was inside. She tells you that it's for when you return. Okay. Start the car. Also, there's no sound anymore. You try to turn the ignition with sheer willpower, despite holding... Really? Use the keys, you moron. It takes a number of attempts, but you eventually slot the key into the ignition. So, like, this is like a multi-stage process just to start the car. You turn the key in the ignition, and the car roars to life. Drive. The car squeals, but stays stationary. Really? We forgot to release the brake? How many... Oh, do I have to put my seatbelt on, too? Okay. Release the brake. I'm gonna laugh when it tells me to put on my seatbelt. Actually, I'm gonna try it. Put on your seatbelt. Yeah, there's no such seatbelts. Seatbelts are a myth. Seatbelts are for losers. Just kidding. Stay safe, kids. Drive the car. You put the car in gear and pull out of the driveway. Like a first-time driver, you really shouldn't be driving. No, you shouldn't. Towards the town where your sister stays. Jen started dozing off as soon as the journey got going. Oh god, this is so bad. This shouldn't take long. You come to a junction. Is it left or right? You can't remember. I can't remember either. Left? Go left. You don't want to, but you had better ask Jen for directions. Ask Jen. She grunts and throws her arm to the left. It's left. Of course it's left. Yeah, we had that. Go left. You turn the car left at the junction and accelerate off. Confident that you are on the right road now, you loosen up and put your foot down on the accelerator. You feel powerful as the engine roars at your command. Jen sits up in her chair and clutches her arm. She asks you to slow down. Slow down? That's not what really happened, though, is it?
You're all over the place, James. Pull over.
Oh, God. Jen is hitting your arm and yelling at you, crazy sister. Strange. Oh, and they're like starting to slur the words, too. That's cool. There's a set of headlights coming directly at you, but really slow, like slow motion. Keep going? I don't know what you want me to do. You try to react, but your body isn't responding. There's nothing you can do to stop this. There's no way to control it. The lights
James,
merge
for fuck's
with your
sake,
car.
pull over.
The outside joins the inside. The whole world around you begins to scream.
James!
Oh, God.
It was at this very moment, wasn't it, James? The moment you lost it all. Your sister, your parents, yourself.
Yeah, now we're psychologically
And then
lost.
you made it worse. Go on. Show us what you did.
Show us what you did. You wake up in the car. Wait, did he, like, kill the other guy or something? Your world is upside down. Your seatbelt struggles against gravity, trying to hold you in your seat. An impact into another car has torn a hole in the chassis. Poisonous fumes spill into your car from the engines. You're in grave danger. You have to get out. So he left her. Is that what he did? Are you gonna show me, or are you just gonna look at me eyeball thing? Get out of the car. Get Jen, you selfish. You can't move. Your seatbelt is still in place. Undo your seatbelt. Can't spell. Oh, for God's sakes. Unclip your seatbelt. Oh, for God's sakes. Take off your seatbelt. You release yourself from the seat. Gravity takes over as you slump onto the floor of the car. Onto the roof of the car, which I guess is now the floor. Leave the car. You squeeze through the wreckage and fall on your knees. Every breath brings pain to your chest. Your head is throbbing. A blue car has smashed into the passenger side. Your life cannot be ruined by this. You are standing holding your whiskey and your dad's note, and flashing lights are approaching at a distance. What? Look around. I don't know what you want me to do. Crash site. Exterior lights flicking on and off. Go to the side of your car. There's nothing that can help you in there. You need to fix this before the police arrive. Oh God, he killed the guy. Go to the blue car. The door is jammed. You don't have time for messing around like this, James. What did he do? Look for the other driver. It's an older man. His body is slumped and his face is bloodied. What do we... help the older man? He's dead, James. He can't be helped. But he might still be able to help you. Oh! Give him the whiskey. Oh, and you can see the police lights. Plant the whiskey on the man. I don't, really, that's what it took? I said that 1,000 times in many different ways. Ugh, never mind. With the lights approaching closer, you begin to hear the shrill of their sirens. I can't really read that because there's a piece of glass there. You simply cannot go to jail for this. You clean the bottle to remove your connection with the whiskey. You then very deliberately spill the remainder of the bottle's contents onto the driver. That's what I was trying to get him to do! Spill the contents onto the driver and toss the incriminating evidence onto his passenger seat. A circle of flashing lights surround you, illuminating the crash site in the darkness. Behind them, an army, oh, I can't see anymore, of people all staring. One figure steps out, a silhouette, and walks towards you. Talk to him. You try to talk, but you're not making any sense. Look for Jen. I think she's dead. The lights are overwhelming. All of the details are fading into the past. So this was like even our conscious self didn't remember this, I don't think. I think like we had to dig deep into his subconscious to remember what exactly happened. That's interesting. Look at the figure. The silhouette is a police officer and in uniform. He beckons you to approach. Approach the officer. As you approach the man, the pulsating lights around you get dimmer and dimmer while the pain in your head increases. You fall to the ground at his feet.
I know you're tearing yourself apart over it.
So was this Jen the whole time? Like this vision in, or just the lights themselves?
That accident. That poor man.
Oh.
Me. You have to remember.
James, you're a terrible person. You made a horrible decision.
It was all your fault.
Oh my gosh.
I know what you did. How you left me there to protect yourself.
Yeah, you didn't even think about her.
Some poor man. You went headfirst into that officer and you wrecked all of our lives. And then you couldn't even take responsibility. You did the right thing for you and no one else. Save yourself. Only it was wrong, isn't it? Look at you now. Utterly consumed by it. Say it, James.
It was wrong.
Say it. Tell them.
Man, he's got one hell of a conscience.
Listen to yourself.
What else is there in this room? There's nothing. Oh, can I
It
just
has
leave?
to end, James. Do you not understand? This episode you're having must come to an end.
Follow the red disco robot.
Make it stop, make it stop. Do you remember? Stop the session, Mr. Asian.
Whew. Is that the
Well,
end?
I think we've made progress today, Mr. Asian. I guess we should tell the police what you've told us.
Holy
Although I
cow.
don't suspect they'll take you anywhere. I think you'll be with us for quite some time.
Oh,
Come on.
man.
Let's get you back to your shows. I'll see you tomorrow.
Holy cow. So I feel bad for James in a way. Like, he legitimately had a psychotic break. But, holy cow, his story is sad, but he did a really bad thing. Wow. And I'm guessing that he's a young guy. Like, he didn't want to ruin his life. He was drinking irresponsibly and driving. And he was really only thinking of himself, which I'm not going to say that's just a young person thing. But it just kind of leans into the fact that, like, you know, his parents were excited for him to travel to America. He was probably going on some post-high school or post-college trip or something. And he ruined his own life and his sister's and that man's. I mean, not, you know, he killed him, but that was still his fault. Wow, what a story. That's insane. It's so cool that all 4 episodes are connected. So if you guys haven't seen all 4, definitely go back and watch them because it's still really cool. Like, even if you guys know where it's leading to, it's still kind of cool to see those little hints and nods to the later episodes kind of early on, because now my brain is kind of just racking itself to think of like all the little references in like episodes 1, 2, and 3 that were leading to this moment, because it's all in James's head. It's all his memories and trying to kind of uncover this terrible thing that he did, that his you know, that his psyche was trying to bury because of probably just too much guilt. Man, that is awesome. Super cool game. Super cool little short game. Each episode was maybe like a little bit under an hour-ish, a little bit longer with me because I'm too dumb to figure out some of the puzzles, or to figure out some of the keywords. I mean, when you're typing and trying to figure out exactly what to do or what to click on or what to say. But it's cool because you're kind of trying to uncover his story, and then as the player, you don't really know too much until the very end, which is a really cool way of storytelling. You know, now I feel like I know James really well going through all these 4 short episodes. Oh, this is different too. What's that? So this is like, oh, these are his sessions. Okay, so this changed from the Stories Untold logo to the sessions for James Asian. That's really cool. Yeah, cool little game. It's really fun to play. I don't know if I'd ever, like, I don't know if it's one of those games I would jump into again and play a lot. It seems like one of those games that is all about its story and kind of uncovering the secrets. So I hope you guys enjoyed the last episode and this one as well. But it's really nice to have that kind of, it had a very, like, Stranger Things-esque vibe to it. Obviously the source material was very different, but it was cool to have a lot of those like 80s references and a lot of those 80s inspirations come together into this like sci-fi thriller, slight horror kind of thing. But it was cool to see that come to play. It was less scary than I thought it was going to be, especially episodes 3 and 4. If you guys go back and play or watch episodes 1 and 2, those are a little bit more like on the classic horror side, especially episode 1. It's kind of like a very like haunted house type of feel to it. And episode 2 is much more of like the government conspiracy, like alien science kind of stuff to it. And so that's really cool. And then episode 3 is kind of that like end of the world type movie where there's like alien invasion. You don't really know entirely what's going on. But it's nice that they all had separate premises, but that they all connected so well. And it's cool playing through episode 4 and getting to see all of that come to fruition in a very personal story. So it doesn't really have to do with the world necessarily, but we're learning much more about just one person and kind of his deeds and how his mind is trying to grapple with exactly what happened. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me on this journey. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And let me know what you think down in the comments below, because I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about this story. Did you enjoy it? Did you like seeing all the connections? Or was the gameplay just not your forte, or did it not really interest you? Either way, let me know. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all in the next series.